Hey everybody. So today my psyche says conditions. We all have conditions in our life, situations that we're in, conditions around what we can or can't do. And it is how we navigate those conditions is dependent upon the lens that we see through, how we're working between our mind and our heart, how aligned we are, how much we listen to our intuition, how much faith we have. All of those things navigate the conditions. And when we're in relationships, it gets really tricky because the condition of the relationship, the condition we are in individually, the condition we're in the relationship, how much faith do we have? How much expectation do we have? How much assumption do we have? How much owning and taking responsibility for ourselves do we have? How much willingness to get out of our comfort zone and see that shadow side of ourselves when our partner triggers that in us? So many fun things, huh? It can become quite complicated. So overall, we are not our conditions. We are consciousness, but we do live in a 3D matrix world where we reside in conditions. And so we have to be very mindful to own our share in things. And when we're in relationships, to recondition, to have check-ins, to redo that contract, to redo that communication, to grow as we grow, to adjust the conditions, to adjust the contract, to adjust the limits, to adjust the boundaries, all of that stuff, if that makes any sense. And that's the beauty of it, though. As long as we're communicating and we're being that listening ear, and as long as we're communicating clearly what our needs are, and our partner is willing to step in to those conditions and meet you and be there for you and support you and inspire you, then you can get through those conditions. You can navigate them together. You can make the relationship grow. Unconditional love is possible, but an unconditional relationship is not, because we live in conditions, because we live in a 3D world. So, bite on that for a minute. Food for thought. You have to be willing to adjust. You have to be willing to flow. You have to be willing to, when someone comes to you with their limit, their vulnerability, their conditions, you have to be willing to put in your own, to hold them at such a high trust and respect and sacredness. And to be willing to look at the triggers that your partner brings up in you. And you as well look at the triggers that they bring up, that you bring up in them. I can't remember, you get what my point. But it's navigatable. It flows. Relationships flow. Conditions flow. It's energy. It's always moving. Just be willing to look at the conditions, to adjust them in the lens that you see them, to rewrite them, whatever it takes to keep that going. I love you, everyone. Have a good day.